Hello, today we're going to be looking at all the versions of Windows released ever since it came to the public in 1985. Let's go! So the first version we're going to do is Windows 1.0.1, released in 1985. It was the first one ever to do it. To be released to the public. As you can tell, I have an emulator, and let's get started. So first we're gonna reset it so that it's not on the sure, whatever. It's gonna wait for all of that. It's pretty cool actually, that stuff, because it's like all technical computer stuff. It's nice how their logo is. It's like really cool. And then the first one I saw was like really gray, so I didn't feel like I wanted to put that in a video. So obviously the desktop does not look like a Windows 10 or Windows 7 desktop like some of you may have. So it's very simple, I shall say. So let's look at some of the apps. The apps are, there's like the calculator. By the way, now they don't put the exe, but back then it was very simple. People were kind of glad they had anything. They didn't care that there was exe at the end of it. Exe, by the way, means like an app of some sort, like a program. I just did 2 plus 2 equals 4. So let me put the test of the calculator. Obviously it works, obviously, because people did it for a long time. Let's see, there's the clock. It's just a giant clock. That's the clock. By the way, you have to press and hold down on your mouse, whether it's a trackpad or an external mouse like this one. And so, let's see, control. I'm pretty sure that's the control panel, if I remember correctly. Might be the control panel. Yep, it's the control panel. I knew it. And that's just simple settings. It's not nearly as much as what we have now. So that's like it's really cool. It's just so good to be using something that was released 34 years ago and is no longer supported. But it's just really cool because, you know, I don't have Windows 1.0. This is obviously an emulator, like I told you before, or earlier. This is Notepad. We still have Notepad. It's more I call civilized. And it still works. Let's see. Hello, this is a test. If I can spell it right. A test. I don't want to because I tried this earlier. It didn't really work. So yeah, it's very retro. It comes down the screen. And so, yeah, that's that. And then reverse C. I do not really know what reverse C is. So, let's see. Let's try and play it. I tried playing it before, obviously off camera. And this is very weird, I shall say. Very weird. It was, okay, yep. You may only move a place when the cursor is across. Is a plus, is turned into a plus sign. Yeah, I don't really understand this game. None of the people that I know it either. In the terminal, it actually just makes noises. It just makes noises. That's kind of weird. I thought the terminal would be the command prompt now, but okay. And then right, I'm assuming it's just like Word. No, this is the only app that I haven't gone to. Right, it's just Word. Yeah, it's just like Word. That's all it is. And yeah, there's that. So yeah, I kind of like this. I only think the reason I wouldn't like it is because it doesn't really support games. So yeah, that is Windows 1.0. So this is the Microsoft Windows version 2.03. It was released in 1987. So let's get straight into it. So as you can tell, I'm not putting it in actual full screen because it'll mess up a lot of stuff. I'll be doing that quite a lot in this video, just because it does that every time you click the mouse for some reason. I like that design actually. So there's a lot of familiar programs like calculator and clock and control panel and other things like the text file readme and the terminal. And right, there's some new things too, like the calendar. That's new. So it's just 8 a.m., 9, 10, 11. You know, it's very simple. So then there's car file, which I don't know what that is. and clipboard, the clock, control panel, cut paint. Oh, it's just to change the paint the file conversion. There's some fonts, I think. Yeah, it's fonts. There's some websites. There's a MSDOS prompt, or I think that's just to open the same window. Yep, let's just open the same window. And then there's Notepad. We already looked at that. And let's see, there's Reversity. I still don't know what that is. Well, I still don't know how to use it. And there's Spooler. It's just printers. There's no printers connected to it because it's not a real computer. And there's the terminal. We saw it last. There's some websites. And so yeah, it's kind of a copy of Windows 1.0, but it's also not really a copy because there's some new programs, which I'm sure a lot of people are happy about. So this is Microsoft Windows version 3.0. It is it's the same website, so I'm unfortunately unable to go into actual full screen. I'll try my best to mimic it, mimic full screen, but this is probably the best that I'm gonna get. So it's one of my comments when I first saw this was that this is very clean. It's compared to the other ones, it's very clean, and it's still very retro, like its other two called brothers or sisters, I guess. So it's so the file manager is here, and it's kind of called directory tree. Minimize. Oh, it's kind of different. File manager close. Yeah, sure. So there's the printer, there's the DOS prompt, which I can't find a command. And, okay, that's fine. And then the printer, like, is just called Spooler in version 3.0 1.0, and the control panel. See if it's changed at all. It's got more now, it's got options for the ports, and the mouse, and the desktop, sound. It's got more now. They definitely have improved. And then the clipboard, and then the setup. So that's that. And then this is the main. Oh, that's a thing which opened. Oops. Let's see. Let's close that. And then we got Solitaire and Reversity. Solitaire is new. I'm unable to play Solitaire. I don't really know how to play Solitaire very much. Oops, I don't want to move it. I want to close that. And then Reversity is still the same. Reversity is a very classic game. It's been around for almost 200 years. And it's just adapted for the computer. So yeah, this is Windows 3. So this is Microsoft Windows 95. It was released in 1995. And so it's the first version of Windows not to have the NBA DOS based. As you can tell now, it's got the desktop that we all know from either Windows 7 or Windows 8 or 10. It's got the internet here. It's got a recycle bin. Since recycle bin doesn't work. My computer works. It still uses floppy disks at this point. I think floppy disks are going away at that point. And so let's see settings. There's a control panel. We can add or remove programs. Sometimes if we actually had the full thing, we could do that. We don't have a CD-ROM on us. So it's got sounds. Let's see it work right now. The system properties. It just tells you all this stuff. Device manager. It's you can view all the devices, quote unquote, on this computer, quote unquote. And then there's all this, quote unquote, 64 megabytes of RAM. We don't actually have it. I actually only have 2 gigabytes of RAM. Regional settings. I think that's like time. The printer's like Spooler, and version 1.0 and 2.0. The Windows run doesn't seem to work. Help. But you all know what run would do. Then there's a taskbar, printers, control panel. We've already went through that. Let's see, there's the Internet Explorer, Internet Mail. It's just what you call it? It's just called Microsoft Internet Mail. That's like the equivalent of Outlook. And it's still very retro. And let's see, there's the MSDOS prompts that didn't work in here, but whatever. Internet news. That's that. And so yeah, I personally, if I had this, the only restriction that I wouldn't like is the fact that it doesn't support games. But that's pretty much. So this is Microsoft Windows 98. It's very similar to Windows 95, except it's like the 3G and the 3GS. It looks the same, but it's a complete overhaul. It's got now Outlook Express on the desktop. It's got Outlook Express on the taskbar, and I think it's Paint on there. And so there's files or folders, taskbar and start menu. There's different options in the start menu now. In this, and then there's the DOS, so it doesn't work. Well, that's fine. And then there's now an address book, connection wizard, front page express, Microsoft Netmeeting, that's new. Outlook Express, that's new also. Personal web server, I think that's new also. And then Windows Update, I forgot if that was there or not, but so that's pretty much Windows 98. That's not it's not too much of a change.